to my channel. Today's video is going to be a get to know me video vlog. I'm going to apologize in advance if I sound a little stuffed up, but I still have this congestion sinus allergy thing, so please bear with me. So yeah, I guess let's go ahead and get right into the video. My name is Lanessa Nicole and I am 29. I'm currently 32 weeks pregnant with a baby girl. I met my fiance when we both started working at the same company. This was back in June of 2015. So we met around that time and didn't really talk or anything, just kind of knew of each other. And then we started like hanging out as friends about 6 months later. We actually, like right after us being friends and just like hanging out for a while, we moved in together. It was like September of 2016. And then we kind of do things backwards. So he actually asked me to be his girlfriend in Hawaii in November after we had already been living together for a couple of months. Obviously I said yes. And we actually had a surprise pregnancy in August of 2017, and we ended up losing that pregnancy, that baby at 10 weeks and 6 days. So I actually had to have a D&C on September 13th of 2017. So after that, you know, it was really hard for us to kind of get past that. I mean, we weren't really expecting to get pregnant, but you know, it happened, and it was first we were shocked, and then we were excited, and then we were devastated. So yeah, we were just trying to pick up the pieces of what had happened to us, and we decided that we, you know, still wanted to go traveling and kind of just, you know, do what we were doing before we had gotten pregnant. And so we ended up making a trip to Europe in February of 2018. And I will link those vlogs down below. Back when we did our Europe trip, we just ate. I mean, we had so much fun. We, you know, had a bunch of different wines. We, you know, went out and met up with my fiance's friends in Marseille, and we were able to hang out and like get to hear them speak French, and they actually kind of got to translate for us and kind of go off the tourist path, just because, you know, we were safe with the locals. So yeah, that was really fun. If you guys haven't seen that vlog, please check it out. I will link it down below. So yeah, that was a really fun trip, and you know, I'm so glad that we got to do that before, you know, settling down and having kids. So that was a great way to kind of, you know, we honored the baby, but we also, you know, kept living our life, and, you know, we're moving on. And then we went to Costa Rica in June of 2018. It was our friend's 40th birthday party, and his wife got like 12 people to go on this trip. It was so much fun. We did jungle excursions, we did, you know, like zip lining and horseback riding, and all kinds of fun stuff. Definitely memories that we're going to cherish forever, and we're going to be thankful that, you know, despite our loss, we did have that extra time to, you know, go and see the world and, you know, experience things that we wanted to do before having kids. Once we got back from that trip, we decided that, you know, we wanted to wait probably, you know, at least a good 5-6 months, because, you know, Costa Rica, they do have Zika. So, you know, it was like, I definitely did not want to risk that in any way by getting pregnant. So you know, we were gonna start trying in December of 2018. However, we stopped being careful in November of 2018 and got pregnant on the first try. So I got pregnant in November, and we are due in August. I don't know if you can see that with the you know, boobs hanging down. But yeah, so we have a baby due here in August, which is in 8 weeks, August 17th. So that is super crazy to even think, like, it's coming up so quick. We're never gonna forget the baby that we, you know, had prior to this pregnancy. And we actually decided to name that baby Phoenix because the phoenix, you know, burns and turns into ash and then, you know, comes back. And so for us, that kind of like, when we had the DNC, they asked us what we wanted to do with the remains. So we ended up having them cremated, and the ashes were spread over the hospital's, you know, grave that they have for the babies. So we decided, you know, that Phoenix would have been the perfect name. That's probably not what we would have named the baby had, you know, it made it to full term, but given the situation, that name just fit perfectly. We always kind of knew, you know, that when we were more ready, we would start trying again and have our rainbow baby, and that's exactly what happens. My now fiance was planning on asking me to marry him before we even found out that we were pregnant. He ended up proposing to me after I told him that we were pregnant. I told him, so I found out on December 5th that I was pregnant, and it's actually a funny story because I didn't really, like, I didn't want to take a test. I was like, no, like it couldn't have happened that fast. And then, I don't know, I was just kind of feeling weird, and I just was like, you know, I'd better just take a test just to be safe, you know. And I ended up taking one, and then it was positive, and it was at nighttime. And so I was like, holy crap, like, this is insane. I can't believe this, you know. And so I took another test, and I actually had called my mom because I was in such shock. And I was like, she was sleeping because it was like midnight at this point, and she answers the phone and she's just like real groggy, like, hello. And I'm like freaking out, and I was like, Mom, I took a test. And I was in college at this time, and so she's just like, well, like, did you pass? And I was like, no, Mom, like, I took a test, like a pregnancy test. And she was just like, then she was like wide awake, and it was like, oh my God. And I was like, yeah, it was positive. I took a test and it was positive. And so she was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And she was so ecstatic. And I was just like mainly in shock. And yeah, it was crazy. So then I had to figure out how to tell my fiance, Patrick, and he used to travel a lot for work, so he was actually out of town when I found out. And so he didn't get back for, it was 2 days. So I had to wait 2 whole days to tell him that I was pregnant. So I went and got this book. It's called Dude, You're Gonna Be a Dad. And then I made like a little white onesie, and I ironed on like the letters, and it spelled out Hi Daddy. And then the next morning after I had took those 2 tests at night, I was like, let me just take a test in the morning, just because I know that's when you're supposed to take the test. And so I took 2 more in the morning, and they both obviously said positive still. And so I had the digital one, like the clear blue digital that says like pregnant or not pregnant. And I had put that one in a like a little stocking because, you know, it was around Christmas time. And so we hadn't gotten our annual ornament. And so I put it on the Christmas tree, and I told him to look for it when he got home. And so he was looking all over the tree, and finally he found it, and he was in shock. He was just like, holy smokes, and oh my God. And he's just like, how did it happen? Like, that was so fast. And so we both were, you know, definitely very shocked that it happened so quickly, but we were just so overjoyed. I mean, it was like, I relive that moment like all the time because it was just such a good moment. You know, we had gone through so much with, you know, losing the first one and then, you know, just getting pregnant so quickly. You know, we were very lucky because I know that that's not the case for a lot of women. But yeah, so after that, we had already had a trip planned to San Francisco, and that's where he proposed to me. And so we went there. I think I got there like December 20th or 21st, and then we went to the wineries on the 22nd, and we were just, you know, I mean, obviously I couldn't drink, so he was doing the drinking. We went to Domaine Carneros winery, and it was so beautiful. And so if I have a clip of it, I'll actually insert it here because it is just like, oh my god, it was like magical. And so he took me out on the, like, they have like this little path that you can walk down, and so he took me out there, and I was just like completely oblivious to what was going on. And he like sets his camera up, and I was just kind of like, okay, like whatever, he's gonna take a picture of us. And then he gets down on one knee and he gives me a Christmas ornament because we hadn't gotten one yet. And so he actually had ordered one, and it says our first Christmas engaged. And then he, as I was like reading what the ornament said, he got down on one knee, and I like moved the box and saw him, and I could tell he was like trying to come up with like something to say, like, I don't know if he had like a speech prepared or something, but all he could get out was, will you marry me? And so of course I said yes. Yeah, so we, you know, did that, and now we have been engaged for 6 months, and we're actually planning on getting married in October of 2020. So hopefully we can get that done because it's kind of been a lot with being pregnant and engaged, and then it's just a lot. And then we have to move like a month and a half after the baby gets here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you feel like you got to know me a little bit better. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! This fucking hair right here is like